again. Memories like the corners of our eyes, misty water colored memories. And I'm telling you, this is a beautiful memory. I am going to be talking with KARLENE Salmon, who served as our GM. Is it
No,
GM?
Miss. Hi, no. Operations manager.
Well, you might as well have been GM.
No way.
It
No,
was,
sir. Please, please
yes,
don't
sir,
let me
regard,
say
we
regard
love
here you
you.
say that.
We love you, sir, regard. Thank you so much. But I am so happy to have the opportunity to talk again with KARLENE Salmon, who served as our operations manager a few years ago. KARLENE, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks, Nadine. How are you? It's good to
I
see you.
I am good. You're looking very operation manager type of
Yes,
general
yes.
manager
I'm
now.
trying. I have to keep up the appearance.
Oh gosh. KARLENE, what are your earliest memories of Love 101? This is before you started working with us.
Yeah, I was about to say because I was associated tangentially with Love 101 long before I started working there. Because
Mm-hmm.
remember, I used to work for Life Productions.
Yes.
Right. So yes, that's back in the day. So
Yes.
I used to when life would bring down like
The big names.
Kirk Franklin the first time, God's Property, Tremaine Hawkins. I did a lot of the promotional work, and
This
so
is
that is
true.
how. And I remember it was you and Nigel, I think, who
Mm-hmm.
were the MCs for those shows.
Mm-hmm.
So that is how I first came into the love constellation, so to speak.
Oh my goodness, you just woke me up, man. You brought me way back.
Yeah, man, that was
Absolutely.
yeah. You remember the time? I think it was at a Franklin concert. This man decided to propose to his girlfriend
Uh-huh.
in the crowd, and she fainted.
Oh,
So all you saw was like the crowd, and then this big space. Everybody backed away.
that is funny. It's like
Yeah.
everybody's all happy, but when danger came, everybody's
Yeah, man,
like,
she just
oh.
dropped and everybody just backed away. It's a big space around the square. Yeah, I remember that, man. No, those were the
Oh
days.
my
In
god,
fact,
I know.
my best friend in life, Debbie Rowe, we've been friends since we were 4 years old. Hi,
And now
Debbie.
you're five.
And now
Uh-huh.
we're five, right? And was reminding me the other day of those events because
Yes.
she was living in Kingston at the time. I was living in Kingston at the time, obviously working. And I would always drag her along. Well, she enjoyed coming, but
Mhm.
she'd be there with me at these events. And I remember being on stage, like literally standing on stage with Kirk Franklin and the
Yes.
family. He came down with the family first,
That's way, way,
way
way.
back.
Because the family, I
Yeah.
think, was the first group that he sang with.
The family,
Or
right?
I should
That's
say
right.
the first group that sang with him. Sorry.
Sorry. So again, I missed that.
I should say the first group that sang with him, not
With
he
him,
sang with
right?
him,
But he
right?
didn't sing. That's
That
right. He didn't
too.
sing.
So then, how did the link with Love FM? How did that start?
The link with Love FM. Well, I mean, it started professionally then,
Hmm.
because of course
Right.
I was associated with those events and promoting. But then I got to know you guys. I got to know you and Arnold and Nigel. And you guys were nice, and I just like hanging around you guys. You were sweet to me. I mean, I was a youngster, totally green to this business. You guys really made me feel very welcome, and
Yes.
actually, the connection with love actually predates that. There's a
Mhm.
spiritual connection with love. I don't know if I
Wow.
ever told you this story. I remember I told Bishop Hera Blair the story, but I don't remember if I ever told you the story, Nadine.
Hmm.
But many years ago, when I was about to go off to university, I wanted to go to this university in Canada. And I remember I got in, and my father saying to me, "Boy, I don't have the money to send you.
Yeah.
So you're going, UWE is a good school, and, you just go to UWE." But in my heart, I just felt that this is where I should go. I should go to Queen's University. And so I remember praying about it, and I actually made a promise to God. And the promise went like this, because at that time, Bishop Blair, he was part of the group that got the license. So they
Yeah.
didn't have a name. They didn't in the public sphere. They didn't have
Yeah.
a name. It wasn't yet the national. Well, the public didn't
Religious.
know National
Mm-hmm.
Register Commission. They
Right.
just knew that Hera Blair, because everybody had said, "Oh, Hera Blair got a license," right?
Right.
So I remember making a vow to the Lord and saying, "Lord, if you get me into Queens, because I was going to do communications, if you get me into Queens, you know, make the way open for me to go to Queens, I will work for Hera Blair Station." So
Wow.
fast forward, I went to Queens, had a wonderful time, came back, and I don't even remember where. Oh, I was working at CPTC, I think, at the time. And I ended up doing an interview with Bishop Blair. I don't even remember what I was interviewing him about, but after the interview, I got to talking with him, and I said, I've made this promise to the Lord and whatever, and I just couldn't, in all the jobs that I'd worked in up to that point, I just couldn't see how I was going to, make this transition,
Fulfill. Yes.
fulfill this promise. And I remember him being very calm about it and saying, well, essentially saying, let's see what the Lord does. You made the promise, you've made the effort. Let's
Yes.
see what he does. And so the opportunity came many, many years later, because I left
Wow.
school in 96, and I didn't start working at Love until I think it was 2005, I think.
Wow.
2005 into 2006, because I left after my mom died, I remember. Yeah. So there you go. So my
It
connection with God
started before.
was before. Right.
Wow. I love that you remembered your promise
Yes.
and that you took it so seriously. And I hope that persons who are listening will remember the importance of keeping our promises to God.
Yeah, but there's a passage of scripture that talks about, remember the vows you've made to the
Vows.
Lord. I,
Hmm.
I can't tell you the exact words
Yes.
verbatim, but
Yes.
every time I came across it, I'd be like, yeah, yes, Lord.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you made the promise and you are now at Love. What were your thoughts when you came and you started that journey? What were your expectations?
The interesting thing is how that journey started too, because
Yes.
you and I kept in touch throughout the years after life. I
Hmm.
remember, yeah, we kept in touch, and then I went away, study, came back, and I was working at TVJ for like a
Yes.
couple of years, and then I left TVJ, and I was working freelancing on my own, doing my own thing, and I think you ran into my husband at the time.
Yes.
He knew you, and you must have asked for me, and then he told you that I wasn't working, and you called me like, "No, listen, you need to come. You need to come here." I
Oh
mean, it
my
was like an order. You
God.
need to come here. And I don't even remember who interviewed me. I
Oh
turned
my
up. I
word.
honestly don't remember who interviewed me. But the next thing I know, I was turning up on a Monday morning to work at Love FM.
Oh
But it,
my
but it was
goodness.
exciting. It was exciting because for me, it was a very spirit based experience.
Wow.
I'd worked in a Christian organization before. I'd worked at NCU before and had that experience. Worked at Life Productions, and had that experience of working in a Christian environment. But I mean, I remember us getting together as a team, as I think I was sharing with you yesterday.
Yes.
We
Yes.
decided that we were going to pray, and we were
Mhm.
going to pray for a building. I remember that. I remember it started with a big group of
Oh
us, and it
my
whittled down to about
God.
two or three of us every morning. And I,
Yes.
I remember praying and saying, "Lord, I am placing my foot." I remember lifting my foot and placing my foot upon that new property.
Oh my God.
Shortly before I left, we bought the building where you guys are now.
What?
So for me, to me, that was just a manifestation of how when you believe, when you have faith, when
Yes.
you exercise that faith,
Yes.
you speak things into being, because
Yes.
that was
And you lift
amazing.
up your foot and step into
Praying,
the new building.
and it happened.
Oh my God, I love it. This
Yeah.
is a this is
And
wow.
and 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 there's another memory I have, just of, I don't know, I'll never forget this. we wanted to refurbish the space that we were in because we were in a tiny space compared to where you are now. I think
Yes.
it was like one floor on Webster Memorial, the United
Right.
Church
Right.
building, right?
Upstairs. Mm-hmm.
Upstairs. I remember tiny. And we wanted to change out we were going to change out the what do you call it now? The office
The
sorry,
floor.
the office dividers, the furniture, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
But the budget only allowed them to bring the furniture. It didn't allow them to move the furniture.
Mm-hmm.
No, we wanted to tile.
Install
I remember that. We wanted to
the
tile.
tile. Yes, I remember the tiling.
And I remember we all came out to move stuff. I don't know if you remember that. It was a Saturday, and a bunch of us from the office. I've never experienced anything like that since. But then the thing is, I understand that's a love culture, right?
Yes.
That we move together as a family. And on Saturday, we all came out and moved stuff, and we had a lot of things that were clearing out, and people came out and moved stuff.
Wow.
You know, that I'd never worked in an environment like that before. You know, where
Carlene,
you,
this is absolutely beautiful. I thank you so much for sharing those. I remember those devotions, and we were talking about Dean Reed. May his soul rest
Dean
in
Reed,
peace.
yes.
Yes, and he was all if Dean alone having devotion. He was sitting there with him piano, pong pong. Oh
Yes,
Jesus,
but
I thank you.
I tell you something, I remember when I came one morning to visit you guys at the new building, and there was Mr. Reed down in the corner in the
Same
foyer by
way,
himself
same way.
praying.
It's true. It's true. He was a beautiful soul,
Yes, he
and
was.
you brought such joy. Thank you so much, Carlene, for the role you played. You would have us write down little things about what we want to see happen at Love. And I never forget those things. You know, we'd pray together, we'd hold hands and pray together. You know, I loved your influence at Love. I loved the time that you served, and it was just absolutely beautiful. And wherever you are, whatever road you take, well, yeah, always in some, you left and became our boss
Oh,
in certain ways, but it was just your influence, your input. And now hearing these stories, I am blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to know you and call you friend. And
oh
blessed
wow.
to
Same
have
here.
had
Same here.
you, yes,
Same
on
here.
the journey
And
at
as I
Love.
was telling you yesterday that I still tell Nadine stories. So one of my favorite stories is when you went out to some church and they were having praise and worship, and this lady got up and said, I'm afraid of God. Sing along, everyone. I am afraid of God. He calls me afraid. My favorite Nadine story. And there are many. There are many.
Oh my goodness, Carlene, you're a riot.
No,
She's
Nadine,
a
not as
boss
funny as
lady.
you.
She's a boss lady, you know, but yeah, you have your time, and I love it. I love it.
One of the most special, I don't know how I forgot this, but one of the most special memories I have of Love, again, involves you, Nadine. When my mom died, I remember before my mom died, she used to listen to Love before, and then when I actually got the opportunity to be on radio for the first time in my life. When I was at Love, so I'd fill in sometimes, and so she'd listen and thing. And then I remember she said to me one day, I listen whenever Nadine does perpetual praise. Whenever she and her team go out and they do perpetual praise, I love it. I just love it. I sit and I listen to it, and I just enjoy it. It's a fabulous experience. And she loved it.
Wow.
And so I said it to you before she died. I was just telling her, telling you about my mom and, how she loved perpetual praise. And then when my mom died, I remember you came to me and you said, I remember what you said about your mom and how she loved perpetual praise, and would you allow us to come and participate in the funeral? And you did. You came all the way to Mandeville. I'm sure my mom in heaven was looking down and saying, "Oh my goodness, they did this for me." And you came all the way to Mandeville to perform at my mom's funeral, and I never forgot that. Never forgot that. So, thank you.
Thank you for bringing tears to my eyes. That was
Yeah. So
beautiful.
yeah. Yeah. So I want to
I
share
never
that
even
with you.
remember that. I did
Yeah,
not even
no,
remember that.
it made an impact on me. It really made an impact on me. So I don't know
Wow.
why I didn't remember that before, but yeah,
Wow.
yeah. You're
Ah.
coming from four, Nadine, from four,
From Forest
from
True.
four. Yeah,
Thank you for sharing that. You encouraged me, yeah, you encouraged me.
yeah.
Carlene Salmon, all the very best, my darling. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
your influence and the role that you played in the growth and bringing love to where it is today. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. Bless you all.
Bless you.
All right. Yeah.